I want to focus on these words. I want to focus on these words. Nick Rekieta reported. What does that mean? What does that mean? It means Nick Rekieta talked to the police. Now, Nick Rekieta has a very specific legal theory in his criminal case for the cocaine. That is, the government is evil, and no matter what you tell them, they're going to pervert it, they're going to twist it. It's bad. You should never talk to them. In fact, let me go over here with good old Nick and good old Kurt, who's getting red pilled day by day on this. Let's listen to what Nick has to say about talking to the police.
Like, what you say is noble and good, but I don't talk to cops. Fuck that. What am I, some kind of snitch?
That's it. One more time.
Like, what you say is noble and good, but I don't talk to cops. Fuck that. What am I, some kind of snitch?
I don't know, Nick. Are you? It's your question to answer. But he legally confirmed. This is here. Unless this is made up, unless this is a false report, unless Nick and his wife are following false police reports. So what is it? Is it a false police report, Nick, or did you talk to the police? I think you talked to the police. I mean, you can't have it both ways. Now, some people are fighting over the word cooperating, and I know some people are saying, well, he's not cooperating because he's not going to be a witness. No, he could be a witness and would be a witness. In fact, if anything, Aaron's attorney would call him and put him on the stand and grill him about the details.
On July the 19th, KR, which is Kayla, NR, which is Nick, and AI, which is April, all fully identified, met with law enforcement. So I take note here that they met with law enforcement. Now, I personally have no problem with this. I'm of the view that I don't really believe, and I've never really believed in the concept of don't snitch. I think it's a very stupid philosophy. It's a very dumb philosophy. The law, of course, protects us all, and we're all part of this society. And so if someone breaks the law, then, you sharing what you have to share with the government is merely being a good citizen, as far as I'm concerned. You're just doing a civic duty as part of the government, which, you effectively are, because the government responds to the people, at least in principle. And I tend to think it does more than not. So it's like, these are the laws that we have decided on. This person has done a bad and you're sharing what you know. So I don't really believe in this idea of, don't snitch. I think it's a very, very dumb idea. And I think that people should tell the police when people do bad things, whether it happened to them or not. And people should be witnesses when bad things happen, whether it's to them or not. Because that way we live in a civilized society where we have the rule of law. And that's a good thing, in my humble opinion, that we should have the rule of law. And every citizen participating in that is a furtherance of that goal. So I don't have a problem with it. However, Nick Rekieta has previously commented, as I understand it, that he doesn't believe in the concept of snitching. And I will take note that he chose to meet with law enforcement. I mean, presumably he didn't have to go. In fact, I know he didn't have to go. Because the only way he'd be forced to cooperate is with a subpoena. And they didn't subpoena him. So it's like, would you like to come down and talk to the police? And he's like, yes, please. So I understand that Nick Rekieta is of the view that he didn't snitch. I suppose in so much as he isn't the one that initiated the report, because KR is the one that called the report in. That's Kayla called in the report. So he didn't snitch in so much as he didn't initiate it, but he had no problem being a witness. He wasn't compelled. There was no subpoena. He just showed up. So that sounds like snitching to me, which I have no problem with. I think it's fine, but he seems to have a problem with it. And he also denies that he snitched. I think he's trying to go on technicalities, but that's what I think.
For those of you who like Nick, please don't take this as me hating on Nick or disliking Nick or doing anything. I'm just going to let everyone know what's happening. So Aaron's being charged with essentially revenge porn. And the people who snitched him out, who went to police and said, this is happening, we want him arrested, are Nick, his wife, and April. Now, I'll give you my opinion on why they snitched him out. I believe they snitched him out because he is a witness in the case against them for their felony drugs. So if Aaron is a witness in the case against Nick, April, and Kayla, then it just makes sense for them, for if they can destroy his credibility, show he has an axe to grind or anything like that. It's great because now if he's being arrested for revenge porn, it shows that he has an axe to grind and it hurts his credibility tremendously. I would say, Aaron being charged and given a restraining order against someone who has who he's supposed to be a witness against is going to destroy his credibility. I would attack his credibility if I was their lawyers. And now I think you can see that kind of developing. I know people are going to take issue with snitch and cooperator and government informant and state evidence. But in this particular case against Aaron, that's what we got. We got informants, we got snitches, and we got state's evidence. Now, I will say this. What happened to Kayla by him pushing those pictures out to other people online, she should have, and I think rightfully so, reported that to the police. He shouldn't have done that. So I think she was all well within her right because he committed a crime that we saw online. If everything that they're admitting is saying here is true, that's a crime. Sending someone, because she sent them to you personally, and you're now sending them to other people to brag about your conquests. Now, I think that's a crime. So she should have reported it. Her, Nick, they all have the right to. But in the context of this anti-government, all police lie, this, it's now becoming this kind of, well, if you really don't like the police so much, then why are you up over there snitching about? Again, it's not like you post them on YouTube, you sent them privately, but still. So my opinion, and I want to make this very clear, this is my opinion. My opinion is that the reason why they went and made this report to police is because they believe by knocking down Aaron, it's going to help their case. They believe by attacking Aaron, it's going to help their case. That's what's going on here. Yeah, I think this is exactly. I think this is shutting up Aaron because now you'll see he can't talk about them and he can't. So this gives them a little leverage on Aaron. And now when police, now remember in Nick's motion to dismiss, he pointed to Aaron specifically. This guy's got an axe to grind. This guy is blah, blah, blah. This helps that argument. Now, this doesn't help that argument for the search warrant because the police didn't know all this when they got the search warrant. But now going into trial and going into these hearings and pretrial stuff, you could say, yeah, look, this guy, we want to bring this evidence in. This guy has an axe to grind. This guy has an axe to grind.